first story of the day, and we're talking about Indiana Jones 5, baby. Okay, so a couple things here. Let's start with the initial news, okay? We all know Indiana Jones 5 is filming right now. There's all kinds of weird leak photos and scripts and stuff going around, right?
It was filming.
I'm sorry,
Today, actually, we got new news. Yeah. So
right.
the shoulder injury that Harrison Ford got while rehearsing a fight scene, it actually, I guess it's worse than it was supposed to be. And so now they've actually stopped filming. For the next 5 weeks, there will be no filming.
Oh, my goodness.
So hopefully, I got to tell you, man, you guys need to keep him. I mean, that's an old man. You need to keep him together to get through this movie, because that would be terrible if something happened to him before this was over.
It'd be terrible if something happened to him, period. But yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's going to happen. I mean, he's old. I mean,
yeah. So he got hurt. He got hurt to the point where they got to shut it down for a while, right?
Dude, 78, bro.
Right. And here's the deal. I don't know. People don't even know this, but every day a set is not filming is a day it's actually costing them money.
Right.
Because studios, they don't just own equipment; they rent equipment.
Right.
They have temporary staffers that they actually pay for a certain amount of time, and every day they're getting a SAG fee and Actors Guild this and there's a lot of money that goes into a set. And to stop filming for, say, 5 weeks, and they have to stay on location and keep everything rented and do all this, it's costing them a fortune. So that means that he really got hurt. Now, on that same note, though, and I sent Shane a bunch of pictures and videos, but I can't actually, I don't know if I can show them here. Actually, let me try real quick.
We can show the pictures, right?
Yeah, talk real quick, and let me see if I can. I don't want to get flagged or whatever, but I guess it's a private stream. Who cares?
It's a private stream. Just but here's the thing: is we don't want to put the video up. I think you're right; that'll get pulled down. But I think some images probably won't. Well, oh, you know what? It's not true. You're right. Those images got pulled down already, right?
Yeah, but I think we can get away with it because we don't. There's not a whole lot of viewers here right now. I think we need to risk it.
I think we should risk it. Just go for it.
Risk it. We're risking it.
So while you're doing that, so there's a couple of things. So we know this is the 5th Indiana Jones movie. What I thought was interesting about this movie coming up is that it apparently the guesstimate is that it's going to take place based on Harrison Ford's age, it's going to take place about 15 years after the Skull movie, Indiana Jones 4, which would put them in the 1970s.
Right.
So that means, how is, Henry Jones Jr. going to relate to the 70s? I don't know if they'll do anything with it, but that could be a fun moment for sure.
Yeah. And so I have a couple things here. I have the leaked concept art and I have the leaked script, but the leaked script might be, I think it's called, it's a red herring. Is that the term where it's like purposely wrong, right? I think it might be a red herring, and let me explain why. Okay, so here it is. Okay, so that's that leaked script.
Well, each color is additions to the script.
Okay, right. Thank you.
So it kind of gives the time frame of it.
All right, so that is the leaked script. Let's put that over here real quick, right? Now, let's look at this. Here's some leaked concept art. And this is really interesting because look at this concept art. You see, this looks like that the Nazi bell, that a conspiracy theory that everybody always talks about, the Nazi bell, the dimension shifting Nazi bell, which would make sense. It really fits into the whole indie thing.
Okay, yeah.
And you know what? I forgot this too. I actually went and looked up what the Nazi bell was, and here it is. Okay. So conspiracy theories say Hitler had a secret gravity UFO and the U.S. stole it. And look at that link. Look at that thing. Right?
Yeah.
Now look at this. This is an old conspiracy theory. Okay.
I mean, it obviously makes sense based on these pictures if this is true.
Look at this up here. Look at the top left of the leaked concept art. That looks like that exact same thing.
Exact same thing.
Right. And basically, it's exactly what the title says. it's like a dimension shifting, UFO that the Nazis made to like time travel or something. I don't know. Who cares?
Makes a lot of sense with what's going on today. That's for sure.
Right. Well, now it gets better. Dug up this Reddit post. Now, here's the deal. Most Reddit posts, I don't really give any credit to.
Right.
Unless the moderators were ordered to remove said post by the studio.
Okay.
Now, so this came up. I guess Reddit got mad that it was removed, and one of the mods said, we had to remove it. It was a DMCA or whatever. Well, if you're savvy, I'll tell you, you can go find deleted posts. There's websites out there that can show you deleted comments, deleted posts, and stuff that people try to remove from the internet. They just archive everything, and this was one of them. And it says the film opens at the close of World War II on a German castle where covert experiments are being carried out on religious artifacts brought there by Nazi archivists. I'm not going to read the whole thing. But basically, it talks about this thing called the Die Glock, or Die Glock. And that's the glowing rotating contraption rumored to have anti-gravity properties. Boom.
Okay.
So you put all this stuff together, okay? Put it all together, right? Get it in there. Yeah, I want more. Give me more. I'm actually too far. But you put all this stuff together, what you got? Right? You got the Die Glock. You got Nazis. And I'm not going to bring this up because it's becoming a labor here, but there's pictures of set photos where Indy's stunt double is fighting Nazis.
So my only issue with this is it's supposed to take place after the Kingdom Skull movie. So it's supposed to be taking place, and he's obviously aged. Now I know in this one it says he's de-aged. So I get him doing like a de-aged scene
right
at the beginning of the movie to like do like a flashback to something that happened before. Mm-hmm. I'm down with that. But if the movie has him fighting Nazis in 1970, that doesn't sound right.
Yeah, I don't know if it's like a throwback,
yeah, maybe something happened. Maybe it'll tie into, if it is true, maybe it'll tie into the story and it'll, whatever happened at that time. Now he comes across it again later.
Yeah. What if the scenes that we saw are flashbacks to sort of set up the idea of the Die Glock?
Right. And so he would have to, and somehow.
Well, it's that the conspiracy theory thinks that the reason we won the war was because the U.S. were able to steal that thing. And it's sitting at Area 51 or something like that. That would make sense. Look at the Kingdom Skull thing. They were literally in in the Nevada desert. I actually watched it recently. And the Russians got Indiana Jones to show them where they buried like the body of the alien. They had it was in that big warehouse. So it's like all if you're a sci-fi fan, a la Warehouse 13 style, where the government's just like storing all these random artifacts,
Yeah, that's true. I mean, it would make more sense that if the U.S. government stole that, it would have been, after, going into Berlin, after Hitler kills himself, and we come across it or find it,
right,
or whatever. That would make more sense. But of course, Indiana Jones has to find it. That has to be the whole thing,
right?
Because that's what he does. So I could see maybe he gets revisited him somehow. I mean, it makes a lot of sense because what's happening right now, if this is the story, it's pretty clever, because obviously right now we have this whole UFO disclosure thing where obviously there's these things in our airspace that we don't know what they are. So it actually ties into what we're currently going through right now. So that would be an interesting movie.
Plus, people think there's Nazis everywhere. That's also a thing.
What's that?
Plus, people think there's Nazis everywhere, and the greatest villain that he ever fought was the Nazis.
Okay, so if they go down to South America, or maybe if they're going to Antarctica, that's the rumor. Like, there's all these Nazi colonies in South America,
right?
And then the other one is that there was a Nazi base in Antarctica.
And there's a crazy conspiracy theory that there's a Nazi base on the moon.
Yeah, no,
on the dark side of the moon.
No, I've heard that one too. Yeah, that's probably the furthest of all the ones.
There are people that believe that.
Okay.
Hey, believe
Well,
what you
there's
want.
people, yeah.
Hey, here's my opinion. I don't care what you believe. If it doesn't negatively affect anybody else, go crazy.
Go for it.
Have fun with it.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, if there's things happening on the dark side of the moon, if we're working with like alien races or whatever the heck, some people said there's like bases on the dark side of the moon, and we're working with like aliens or some stuff like that. Hey, if that's happening, cool. Just I hope everybody's kind of nice to each other.
Yeah, that's be cool. So real quick, before we wrap this up, I want to touch back on the title. This is really important. Indiana Jones and the Order of Elysium. That might be a red herring. That might be not the title. That might be the title they're putting on scripts that they know are not very secure. And I'll tell you why. Because when they were writing Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, I don't know if you guys recall, but there was a lot of titles for that. Here's the actual script, The Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, right?
Okay.
Here's the script before that, Indiana Jones and the Infernal Machine. Oh, here's the script before that, Indiana Jones and the Saucermen from Mars. All right. Indiana Jones and the City of the Gods. And you know what?
That would have been a good title.
That should have been the title, because when all these titles leaked, everybody was like, okay, that has to be the title, Indiana Jones and the City of the Gods. That is the only title that makes sense. And they ended up going with the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. And I want to tell you guys, every one of these scripts that I just pulled up, okay, they're PDFs. They're all very different. Similar story beats, like this plot, similar plot generally, but characters totally different. There's one of these scripts actually has Indiana Jones dying, and his estranged son taking over in the middle of the movie, and it's like this emotional thing. And you know what I'm going to do? Because I track these scripts down for you, and I put them in PDF form. You know what I'm going to do for you? If you're a member, all these links are going to go on our members page on YouTube. Oh. And you can download these suckers to your computer.
That's
because
cool.
They were hard to find.
That's cool. Good.
I'm pretty sure the studio doesn't want you to have these.
That's what being a member does for you. So,
yeah.
So you need to hustle out there if you're watching this on the Clip Show and come out and become a member now.
Yeah, this one's so great. Like Lucasfilm, the Indiana Jones and the Saucermen from Mars. Like this full on script, dude. A full on script.
It's got watermarks, bro.
Yeah, no, this is a real script that was put out to mess with people, basically. It's weird. And I gotta tell you, I read through all these scripts. I think The City of the Gods is actually better than Kingdoms, the actual movie they made. It's very similar, but there's a lot more emotion between Indy and his son, and there's characters missing that were in Kingdom of the Skull, and it's weird. I'm like, oh my god, Kingdom of the Skull was not a very good movie.
No, it wasn't.
And there was too many characters.
Yeah, too much going on.
Too much going on. At one point, it's like, oh, Crystal Skull, they're dimensional beings. Now it's a UFO. Now they're flying. Okay, pick a lane, guys.
Pick one. Yeah.
Well, in the City of the Gods, it doesn't go to the whole UFO thing. There is the Crystal Skull and the aliens. And there's only like 3 people. It's like his friend dies like really early on in the adventure, and it's Indy and his kid and his wife. And Indy, I'm not gonna kill you. Indy sort of passes away, but it's great that the passing of the torch was set in stone. It wasn't like this weird scene at the end of the movie where maybe Shia LaBeouf takes over. No, he was like, no, that's it. Shia LaBeouf is the next Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
Period.
And of course.
Period. Yeah.
He got a little nutty, so that never happened.
Yeah. I still would have liked to have seen a Shia LaBeouf Indiana Jones.
Yeah, sure. He went crazy.
He did. He went nuts.
Indiana Jones and whatever this movie is going to be named is arriving in theaters on July 28, 2022. So we've got a year to wait. Now with this 5 weeks of delay, that could push it back. But I'm pretty firmly believe that they will want this movie to be a summer blockbuster hit. So don't expect for it to be delayed too much.
Thanks for watching. To see the full conversation, become a member of the Popcast family. Use the link in the description below or go to our channel and click the join button. Select your tier and we'll see you at the next show.